Blessed full moon in Cancer, dear ones. I am the magical medium. Welcome to my spiritual guidance channel. Today we have 4 cards before you. I'm not going to say piles because I'm literally was called to just do 1 card per reading. So in front of you here we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and over here is number 4. Okay? So, if you already know, you feel good, you just want to get to your messages from Spirit, head on down to your timestamp in the description below. And for those of you who are feeling, I don't want to say generous because I realize that that is from somebody else. That is from the precious moon moth goddess, what I'm channeling right now. But yeah, if you're feeling gracious and you want to contribute, down below in the description box, all my information. I'm getting a lot of channels right now, so thank you, and thank you for subscribing, for liking and commenting. We are here to help and guide each other, so don't be afraid to comment. We've got a lot of really beautiful old souls on this channel, in this tribe. You know, it was Lula's Labyrinth for a long time, but now, you know, I'm the magical medium, but also we've got some tribe members here who are extremely gifted, and I mean extremely gifted. So if you ask questions below and I don't get to, please let them, you know, take some guidance from them as well. We are a team effort here, and we have been working together. A lot of us have been working together for many moons. So today, in this full moon in Cancer, I want to talk a little bit about what's been going on with the energy, what's coming up. But again, you know, if you just want to get your message, go to the timestamps in the description below. Sometimes I put them in the comments too if I remember to do that. But right now, I myself have just been floating with this energy, and if I remember, I will put a link below to an article I read today from Refinery 29 on the full moon in Cancer, and it's a website, and it was just like nailing so many things I've been feeling. And it's interesting because sometimes I really, really get into astrology and numerology and all that. Like I'm just like flowing. But then there are times where, like the last several weeks, where my brain is too full. I just don't have, you know, it's like I'm going with the flow of me, you know, especially when I'm not doing one-on-ones, which I didn't understand why Spirit had like pulled me away from certain people or certain energies or whatever. But I realized that I really just needed to work on myself. And that's what I've been doing for several weeks, and I will probably continue to do through this winter season. I don't know. As you guys know, I just go with the flow. So I may tell you this right now, but, you know, in real time, you know, that's right now. But, you know, these readings are timeless. These messages from Spirit are timeless. I've just been rolling with the punches, feeling everything, feeling the spirit animals. We've been having a lot of ducks and geese around here lately, so if that calls to you, owls, frogs, we've had so much birds, you know, particularly the corvids. I have to tell you, man, the ravens and the crows lately, just really cool stuff. I just feel so divinely protected, and I hope you guys are feeling the same. Don't be afraid to call out to Spirit. I don't like to use fear-based words, but, you know, seriously, like don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. The only thing you're afraid of right now is how powerful you are. And right now, when we're in this full moon energy, man, this energy is ripe. It is ripe for the picking, and I mean ripe for the picking, because again, in real time, today is the 17th, and in a few days we are going to be going into Aquarius energy. And this Aquarius season is going to be bomb diggity. That's why I said this article that I read, I was like, oh man, that's what I've been feeling too. You know, sometimes in winter I feel the winter blues or the blahs, or I feel depression, but this one is different. I'm getting a lot of downloads and information and guidance from Spirit. You know, it's almost like I'm such a workaholic that they're kind of like, yeah, like they were giving me all these signs to slow down and slow down and slow down and slow down, but I didn't want to hear it. So then they gave me reasons to slow down, and they have been, talking to me and whispering to me and showing me signs. And yeah, just the spirit animals have been like really righteous lately. So anyway, I just want to say I love you, and spirit wants to say that they love you. And these are really divine channeled messages today. There's no specific topic. I don't know what they are. I can't even tell you how much fun I had putting this together, but also it was a lot of scrambled energy, which made me realize that a lot of people are feeling unglued, unbalanced. And Capricorn is like the adult sign of the zodiac, I always like to say, meaning like, they're kind of like the boss applesauce, right? Like, if you've got, so many different signs in a room, now obviously, people's rising, sun, ascending, all that shit, makes a difference. But there are certain energies for a reason. Capricorn is an energy, not necessarily like a person, but I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody was like, I've got strong Capricorn in my chart, I'd be like, cool, you want to fucking take over? Like, you want to make sure that like this happens and that happens, because Capricorns have such a beauty about them and their pride. And, it's interesting too, because Capricorns and Leos, in my experience, seem to have like this really cool energy between them. And I feel like that's kind of like what even though it's, the goat for Capricorn, I do feel like this kind of like strong, like pride leader in them, where they take pride in themselves and they take pride in the work that they do, in my experience, right? So it's like, we just need to know like when to deal with these energies, how to deal with these energies. And now we're going to be leaving this beautiful earth sign of Capricorn, and we're going to be going into the air sign of Aquarius. And even though Aquarius is the water bringer, there's a reason why they're an air sign, right? So I want you to really float with the energy of Aquarius. Just have fun, in February, it's the love month. Also, I want to give a shout out to Martin Luther King Jr. Blessed be, beautiful brother. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. I mean, there's just no words or enough accolades in the world. It's like a Jesus, a John Lennon, you know what I mean? It's like I can go on and on. These prophets, these people who are murdered in the name of the truth and justice and and the American way, which is why a lot of people hated John Lennon so much, because they were like, you know what, you're not even from here. Like, if you don't like, get the fuck out. Like, go back to England. And I remember when I was growing up, there was this kind of energy like that with my family too. And when I moved away from Chicago, Illinois to Los Angeles, California at 23 years old, I started to see, like, when I would come home and I would say, hey, you guys, like, that's not cool, or like, maybe don't say that, or don't use those words, or that's really racist, or blah blah blah. And it was like, if you don't like it, go back to fucking the land of the fruits and the nuts. And I'd be made fun of. And it's like I was like taking a stand for like humans. It wasn't about color or race or gender or anything. I was just like, they're human beings, man. And so there's just this passion that comes with the Aquarius nature, because Aquarians, they don't fucking back down, right? They're beautiful. I've had some beautiful Aquarians in my life, man. Honestly, some righteous Capricorns, but some really, really beautiful, life-changing Aquarius in my life. And so utilize this energy, for the month of, it's actually Black Heritage Month too. And then also we've got the end of Mercury retrograde. You know what? I'm going to pull up my calendar. I didn't know we were going to do like a little real talk, but I guess we are. So we are in the full moon in Cancer now. Also, angel number 1515. For those of you who are feeling that, that's also 66, which is also the number 12, which is number 3. So yeah, we're going to be going into Aquarius season on the 19th, and then we've got the last quarter moon on the 25th. And then this what I want to talk to you guys about. February 1st is the new moon in Aquarius, but it's also Chinese New Year, the year of the tiger. It is such an exciting month. February is going to be super, super fun. It's going to be like 28 days of jam-packed fun. Also, Mercury goes direct on the 3rd of February, so we'll still be in that shadow till about maybe, the middle of, I maybe say like the 9th or the 10th of February, but the 8th is the first quarter moon. Then we've got President's Day, which is also on Valentine's Day, which is kind of cool for those of you who don't have to be in school or work or things like that, Valentine's Day. It's on a Monday. That's kind of fun. You can have yourself a nice long, romantic long weekend. And if you are so inclined, take yourself somewhere special. If you're single, take care of yourself. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, do what makes you feel good. And with your significant other, if you can, do something lovely and romantic, something you wouldn't normally do, something spur of the moment, like really feel that Aquarius energy. Because also in that, a few days after Valentine's Day will be the full moon in Leo. And Leos, I've had me some good loving from some Leos, let me tell you. Romantically, sexually, a lot of different ways. Leos are awesome. They're super fun, filled with fire. So we're going to have that fire energy with the air energy of Aquarius. So there's going to be some hot loving going on that week. And then, Pisces season begins on the 19th of February. So, we're going to be going into water, going into flow. Then we've got the last quarter moon on the 23rd. So I don't know why, but I was called to have that little check-in report with the moon cycles, the energy, and the things that are going to be going on. I'm sure there's also different holidays in between there, Groundhog Days on the 2nd. But those are the ones that I was really called out to speak about. And this also Spirit wanted me to talk about in that article that I read. If I remember, I'll put below. It says some really lovely things about the energy of Aquarius and just like kind of riding the wave of it and how it's really kind of like the new year. So, if you didn't have the best January or you're still feeling depleted from 2021, you're not alone. This is happening everywhere, right? So maybe celebrate the Chinese New Year. It's on the 1st too, right? So you can almost do something fun like July, January 31st, make it your mock New Year's Eve. Maybe you had a shitty New Year's Eve and you're like, I need a redo. I want to redo. Because I feel like I've been having that lately. December was a shitstorm for me. From like beginning to end, it was one of the worst birthdays of my life. I didn't want to like tell a lot of people, but it was like one of the worst fucking birthdays of my life. And it was my 50th birthday. And that's another story for another day. But I just started to realize and analyze and understand like how much certain things aren't as important maybe on that day so much as like following through the energy of like another time period and feeling like, hey, that's my birthday. Because, I said to my partner, I said, well, your birthday is May 28th and he's going to be 50. And I was like, maybe we should just do something really spectacular for both of our 50th birthdays, right? Because it's within the same year. Also, it'll be 7 years that we've been together, a 7-year cycle, right? Just really powerful, powerful shit. So, sometimes we need to flow with the energy of things, right? When I was pulling this together, the archetypes, the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, like really screamed out, and I was super excited about it. That's why I had a feeling we were doing a pick a card, because there's so much in just one card and just one message. So with that being said, we also have the moon cycles behind you, behind card number 3. So for those of you who, and I'm going to go over it again just really quickly just to kind of give you guys, so we have over here, we have card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, and card number 4. Okay. And with us today is the beautiful apophyllite. If you have never worked with an apophyllite, I highly recommend you do. If you don't have one and you don't have the means to access one, you can still work with the apophyllite energy. Research apophyllite, look it up, and then speak to the apophyllite. I love having things. Things are great, but what I have learned the most from one of my shamans, I didn't super understand it before, but now over the years, I really started to understand, is that we don't need to have these tangible material things with us, in front of us, in our hands, underneath our feet. We don't really need them above our heads, on our bodies, right? To experience it. Okay? So moving forward, I feel like this year, this spring cleaning is going to be a really beautiful time for a lot of us to just get rid of a lot of shit, unload a lot of shit. So whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course, but for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in the winter energy. For those of you in the summer, Southern Hemisphere, you're in summer, but you can still channel the winter energy, exactly, which is about hibernation and going inward. This is the time I'm really feeling it, you guys. To work on ourselves, but also in the Aquarius energy, they want us to have fun, be playful, just be really mindful and not careful. I am hearing careful, but I want to say that, let's just say mindful in a loving, careful way. of who you are allowing into your orbit and into your atmosphere. Because moving forward, it really is about, you know, love the one you're with, right? It doesn't have to be sexually, but just really loving, just being around people who make you feel good and make you feel happy. I heard this song earlier today, and man, I had this epiphany about my family, about my friends, about my life, my past, my present. I don't know what my future holds really, but I do know that I'm so grateful that I don't have certain energies and people in my life anymore, because I didn't realize how much they were holding me back from who I am and what I was meant to do here on earth. So if you are feeling that as well, then I highly recommend that you pull yourself away from these people, even if it's just temporary, you know? Because sometimes the people we think we love and trust the most, if you're getting a gut feeling that they're talking about you, or they're talking smack behind your back, or they're just not maybe supporting you in the way that you need to be supported, you have every right to say, you know what? I'm backing off. However you want to do it, right? Cold turkey, nothing. You don't talk to them. You don't, whatever. You just block them, whatever. Maybe you write them a letter. Maybe you write them a letter and you never send it. Maybe you burn it. Maybe you do a full moon ritual tonight. You know, I'm going to try and get this uploaded as soon as possible. But it doesn't matter, because, you know, it's always within the 24 hours. And again, you can always ask for the full moon in Cancer energy to guide you through that experience. So without further ado, my beautiful, beautiful souls, my beautiful friends, my blessed, blessed family, thank you so much for being here, for being a part of this tribe, for being a part of this planet, this universe right now with everything that's going on. We're so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Spirit, all of us. We didn't come here to be quiet. So pick your pile. Which one's calling to you? Maybe it's all of them. Maybe you need a message from every single one of them. Maybe it's just one. Whichever one it is, I'll see you over there. And until then, blessed be. Oh, I love you. See you next time. Welcome card number 1. If you chose number 1, you chose the desert, which is also the number 37, which is the end. Oh, look at you guys. I feel like before I even read the book, I just want to channel and just say, it looks like there's so many things that are coming through, but one of them is like, I feel like you guys are like, I'm going to do it. I'm so close. I'm going to grab onto that moon. I'm going to grab onto that crescent moon, and I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then this other part of me feels like there are some of you that are like literally pulling, like down, like you're going under, and you just can't grasp it. You just can't feel it. You just can't grasp it. But Spirit's saying, you're so close. You're so close. You're like moments away. You're moments. Oh my gosh, you guys, my whole body is a chill. They're saying like you are moments away. Like you're so close, like tickety tock. I'm hearing like tickety tock on the clock. Also, look at how that moon shape is. Let's get my moon book out, okay? Well, actually, let's use that. Nope. Okay, they want me to leave the imagery there. Okay. So in this, now see, that's interesting, because if you look at it, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, if you look at it, oh wow, look at this. Look at how this waxing crescent is almost mirroring it. Do you see that right here and right here? How they're kind of that, because I was just going to say, so which one would this be? Because, you know, according to, you know, when you're looking at it, right, it's like this would not be black, right? It would have some light to it. That's the whole point. But it's interesting because it almost feels like you're running out of time, which makes sense with the desert too. Like it's quicksand, right? Like it's like, they're like, if just somebody would just come by, right? Like they're like, I just need a branch. I just need a branch. Could somebody help me, right? Like, let's just say this is my smudge wand, but let's just say, I want to bring this in here too, because I feel like this candle wants to come in. let's just say this was like the branch, right? And Spirit's like reaching to you and they're like, grab the branch. They're like, grab the branch. I feel like that's what they're saying to you. They're like, grab the branch. You're not a victim, right? Did you ever hear that old tale, right? Where the person goes to heaven and says, okay, I think I'm screwing up the joke. Okay, but let's just say it this way, right? There's a flood. We just had a flood here, so I'll use that example. So there's a flood, right? And the person crawls to the top of their house and the water's getting higher and higher and higher. And this boat comes by and they're like, hey, come on, get in the boat. We'll help you, get to safety. They're like, no. He's like, nope, my God's going to help me. My God's going to come and help me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, but, no, save the room for someone else. Bye-bye. And they're like, okay, man. Like, and then the water's getting higher and higher, and they're at the very, very top of their house, and they're holding on to like an old antenna on the house, right? They're holding on, and a helicopter comes by, and they're like, shh, we're gonna let down the rope. Hold on to the rope. We'll get you off there, And the guy's like, no, thank you. My God's gonna come and help me. My God's gonna come and help me. And they're like, this is it. No one's gonna come and help you. This is the last thing. This is it. And he's like, no, my God's gonna come and help me. So he dies, right? Because I screwed up the punchline. But he dies, right? And he gets to heaven and he says, this is the joke, right? Because I don't know what I believe in heaven and hell, but it's about the joke. So he gets to heaven and the joke, and he says, God, I don't understand. I've been faithful. I've been going to church every Sunday. I give money to the church. I help the needy and the poor, and I blah, blah. I thought for sure, you were going to help me. And he's like, I did. I sent you a boat, and you denied it. And I sent you a helicopter, and you denied that as well. And he's like, I don't understand. And he's like, sometimes I come in different shapes and sizes. Sometimes I come in different forms. I've told you this. We all know this. God doesn't have a face, right? We are all God. We are our own fucking savior, man. Jesus is awesome. I love Jesus. He's my brother. It's a beautiful ray of light and sunshine. He's an archangel of love, right? But sometimes Spirit's reaching out to you and they're like, grab the branch. And you're like, nope, nope. And they're like trying to shove it in your hand. You're like, nope, nope, nope. And they're like, I've sent you this sign. I've sent you that sign. I'm not really sure how many more signs you need, but I can send them to you if you'd like, right? So Spirit's saying, if you feel like you're out alone in the desert, it's because you're doing it to yourself. And this is interesting because they asked me to move things around, and I was like, everything's getting shaken up, but I feel like it's like they want you to see it this way. Because you're not in the desert. And you're not a victim. You're this beautiful, look at that. I barely even touched that butterfly. Now I got to pull it out because that's so crazy. Right? This beautiful, bright, vibrant, shining butterfly. Look at how the butterfly, when the light gets near it, look at how it changes. Do you see that? And they're saying, you have the wings to fly. You're the one holding yourself back. Sweet butterfly. You're the one holding yourself back. You're the one not allowing yourself to be free. And Spirit's saying there's literally only so much they can do. You got to take it the rest of the way. You got to take it the rest of the way. So let's see what the book has to say. That was the channeled messages. Whoo, I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm losing control. Right? Because the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. See, even the hands up, right? So they're saying, reach out, reach up. Because you're not alone, man. You got this. Let's see. We're getting there. The desert, the drought, the wasteland, the badlands. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal. to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. I almost said mass, but right it is, because there's a mass of people going through this transformation right now on the planet. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. When we are in light with this energy, everything surreal and strange and unexpected visions come. We enjoy the silence of the desert. But when we are in dark, it feels drying and deadening and disorienting and isolating. So to go further, it says, when in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies with you than you think, and water is very near. See? And water is different for everybody. What is your water? What do you feel like you're lacking? Ooh, I got the chills all over my body. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy despite its desolate appearance. Turn toward it rather than away from it. And let me tell you, I wanted to start this reading so many times, and I didn't realize until I started this reading that I was literally at the point where the full moon was at its strongest. And I feel like I have only been feeling more strong, more intuition, more connected since I came to your pile. Which means you're magical magicians and you're ready to fly. But you know, if you didn't watch the first part of the Real Talk from Spirit, the messages from Spirit, I highly recommend you go back and watch it, because right now Spirit is just trying to tell us, like, you know, they're just being our biggest cheerleaders, and they gave us a nice little download and a nice little forecast for the next month. So if this is aligning with you, if these messages are aligning with you, it's because Spirit is asking you to grasp that beautiful moon energy, right? Grasp that moon energy. Go for it. Don't be afraid to summon it or your magic. I mean, right? The apophyllite's up here. We got the apophyllite right here. Work with the apophyllite energy to help with your intuition and your visions. You're not alone, my friends. You're not alone. And also, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. I felt like somebody asked me to please turn that. There was some, that's okay, because I know that we have a lot of very highly advanced beings on this channel. Some would say that they're quote unquote autistic. I just think they're really fucking special. I mean, honestly, really special. So thank you, and I hope you feel better now that I have turned the candle for you. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give you one last bit of homework, right? So at the bottom here it says to go deeper. Now that is if you're called to. Also, it's 137, which is the number 11. Maybe you're meant to work with the pyramids, Egypt, the Eye of Horus, like whatever, you know, your third eye. I mean, there's a reason why they told me just to leave it here, not to go back any other way. But go ahead and take a screenshot of this to, if you want to go deeper, into Frank Herbert's Dune, Barry Lopez's Desert Notes, and or Edward Abbey's Desert Solitaire. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they are. If you're pulled to it, take a screenshot and do the work and the research on your own and use your intuition to do so. And just know, my beautiful, beautiful friends, you are not alone. I too was called a freak, a weirdo. I was afraid to share. My throat chakra is getting all bunched up right now. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to feel like an outsider, like you don't belong. But let me tell you something. You're not alone. And I love you just the way you are. You are made perfect just the way you are. And you are meant to evolve and grow just like the butterfly, from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Until next time, beautiful souls, all of my information is below in the description box. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho. Bye. Welcome, card number 2. I'm actually super excited because they had me readjust everything here. And if you notice before, I don't even know what your card is. It's always like, it's fun for me too. Of course, I was always that, kid that was like, ooh, presents, I love it. I love surprises. Okay, so for you guys, you were the only ones that I thought I was pulling the screen up for the wild unknown archetypes. Like I thought it was for that, but then I just noticed the tarot, and then ooh, we're gonna get to that. But then also over here, ooh, and look at that, the moon, it fell down. We've got the moon down here, the apophyllite, but then also look at here. See where it says the spell, enchanted spell oracle? Okay, but all it says is spell oracle, but that's the enchanted spell oracle deck by the priestess moon. So this tells me already, before I even look at your card, that you guys are powerful. I feel witchy. I feel a lot of magic. I feel like if you were wanting to know, do you have powers or gifts? Yes, you do. Absolutely. I mean, if you found your way to this channel anyway, you're a light worker. I would bet on it. If not, if you're not a light worker, you're a spirit warrior of some kind that's here to support light workers. You definitely have a purpose. Maybe you've known it your whole life, that you've had like this grand purpose that you just had no idea what it was. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that they had me frame it exactly like this, I kept looking through my fabrics. I was trying to do something behind, and they were really adamant about it. But we've got the apophyllite here, and then we've got, spell, oracle, and then tarot. To the left. Come on. Tarot, however you want to pronounce it. So, and they're having me show all the phases of the moon. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you to all of the rest of our tribe members who have been here for a while or longer. The moon cycles, when Spirit told me they wanted me to really concentrate on the moon cycle readings, I had a feeling that it was really to amp up all of our gifts and to remind us who we are, what we came here to do, because ever since I've aligned myself with the moon cycles, really aligned myself with the moon cycles, I started to understand how pivotal they are, why they were put here. I don't care if it is a space station. That is like, I don't care if that's heaven, right? And like, that's where the angels are. And I align with the moon. My moon's in Scorpio. I am very connected to Lilith, very, very, very connected to the moon cycles. But I am also very witchy, light worker, tarot reader, spell caster, oracle, divine oracle, like angel energy. Like, I'm just feeling like you guys are lit up, however you want to identify with yourself: magician, wizard, priest, priestess, doesn't matter. But I'm just getting a lot of cool energy from you guys. So let's see what your card is, because I'm super excited. Oh, the mirror. Wow. Okay. So this makes so much sense. All right, hold on. I'm going to go to the book. Hold on. By the way, when I looked down to unpause this, it was 3320, which is also the number 8, if that means anything to you guys, or if you want to look up angel number 3320 or 332, whatever you're called to. Also, in the beginning, in the messages for the collective from Spirit, we were given the angel number 1515, which is also the number 66, which goes down to the number 3. So however that aligns with you. Also, this is number 68, is the Roman numerals that are on the card, which comes out to the number 14, which also goes down to number 5. Just for some of you who are really into all that, right? Like if you're really, really into that. Also, it's on page 201, which is also the number 3. Very interesting. Okay, so, it's interesting. The other pile we channeled first, and then we did the book, but I'm going to start out and explain to you something really quickly, and then we're going to jump into the book. But the keywords for this card are the mirror, the reflection, the illusion, and the looking glass. So you're the first one that any type of, actually, I'm going to use this sweetie pie. You're the first pile that my little crystal ball wanted to come into, but it's just to let you guys know like how powerful you are, that so you can understand this. I'm getting the chills all throughout my body. The mirror archetype, I feel like, is one of the hardest. One of my shamans said the same thing to me. She said, you are a mirror. She said, all of us are a mirror to some degree. She said, but some of us are a lot bigger pieces than others. And this one is really interesting to me because the way it's fragmented, and there are many images. I don't want to say anything. I'm going to bring it a little closer so you can look at it, but I don't want to say anything about it. I just want you to look at this card. I'm going to turn it a little bit. Maybe you will see what I see right now. Right, but look at that full moon. I mean, I love this deck, but this deck to me only comes out when it's necessary. I don't use it all the time. I have other decks for other things, but the fact that we're in a full moon in Cancer and your card has a moon on it is pretty powerful, I believe. Powerful indeed. So when you're a really large mirror, unfortunately, some people can't handle it, right? You know that old, sorry, I'm moving my heater. You know that Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. So most likely you have a lot of people who are mean to you, who bully you. And I'm talking in present tense because I think it happens to you even now. And it could also be that for some of you, you found your way to my channel and you're still in school, or you went back to school and you're being bullied. But it could just be a memory of being bullied. But it feels very, very present and very current. So either way, that's how you're feeling. So I'm honoring and treasuring how that feels for you because I understand. I'm 50 years old and I still feel that. I stopped hanging around or making contact or spending time with people who were bullying me because I didn't realize how bad the bullying had become, that I didn't even recognize that I was bullying until other people had to keep pointing out to me that I was being bullied. And for some people, they bully us because they literally don't know any better. Some people never grow up. They never change. So when they look at you, they see the fragments of themselves, like that broken mirror, like that fragment of that mirror. I'm not saying that you can't have a mirror in that shape, right? Why not? However, I feel like it's a fragmented piece, like it doesn't belong anywhere. But now Spirit wants you to look at this card in another direction. Now imagine, I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Now imagine if this is the mirror and this is a broken gateway. It's a broke through gateway, right? Like they're like, I'm just going to go in there. I'm going to pull it back. And what if that's what's on the inside? That's who you really are. That's who your reflection is back to you. Not this static, but this beautiful, sparkly. What is that? I want to go see what that is. It looks beautiful and sparkly. Because if some people are really happy with themselves and they love their lives and they love that you're so helpful and you're so loving and you're so kind, then that reflection that comes back to them is lovely and divine, right? It feels good. They're like, oh, I like her. I like him. I like them. They see their own magic, right? They see themselves in you. But if someone doesn't like themselves, how the hell are they going to love you, right? As RuPaul would say, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? Because I love you, and Spirit loves you, and we see you. We see all your magnificence, your beauty, your wonder. So be mindful of who you're spending time with, because they're going to reflect back to you fear, judgment, anger, aggression, especially if you're somebody who's happy and this other person isn't happy. And this could be anybody. It could be your significant other, your children, animals, family, friends, coworkers, boss. But you're this beautiful angel, this beautiful light worker, this beautiful spirit warrior that's here to help change the world. Because you understand what archetypes are, right? You understand tarot and magic. You understand that earth is important. These are beautiful. These are beautiful pieces of wood I got from the woods hiking, right? You understand the phases of the moon, the power of magic, selenite. Work with selenite and apophyllite. Selenite is a great energy changer. It changes the energy of the environment. It cleanses the energy of the environment. It cannot hold in, like Spirit saying, look at yourself like selenite. Selenite cannot hold any dark, like negative energy. It can't hold it. It can filter it. It can work through. The energy can work through it, but you know what? It's going to come out the other side. Beautiful sunshine and rainbows. You know what? Who cares if you're shitting rainbows or people are like, you're always happy all the time. You're like, I know, isn't that great? Right? But people who are not happy don't want you to be happy. And Spirit's saying, that's enough now. That's enough now, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to believe in magic, to see things other people don't see, to look beyond, to look underneath the surface. I pulled this off the coast, right? It's a piece of wood that was bumping around forever, but you could see the seashells and the life that was in it. It wasn't when I took it, I promise. It was really dry and like it had been in the sun a long time. Nothing was living in that thing. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't need to always give people what they want just because they want it when they want it. That's selfish. It's childish. It's immature. I watched, don't ask, but somehow I found myself, I had my one day off to do like whatever I wanted, and Spirit was kind of like urging me to do something like outside of spirit work or outside of like my norm, right? I had a whole day to myself. I ended up binge watching Hoarders. I haven't watched that show in so many years because it kind of gives me the willies. But at the same time, it was so interesting because I haven't watched it in so many years. And I know a lot of people who suffer from, other people in their lives that are hoarders. I don't even go into that energy. I love them and I pray for them because I know that's a really debilitating illness, mental illness. But it's something you can overcome, right? It's something that is actually, that was something that went untreated, an energy and an emotion that went untreated that festered into this need to have things. Long story short, I binge watched it like all day long, but it ended up being like, I almost wanted to like take out notes because I was like, wow, it was like fascinating to like watch these families and of course the animal ones, I just couldn't. I was just like, no, I was like praying for them, but I was praying for them and sending them good energy. But there's just so much going out into the world right now. And Spirit wants you to be mindful that you are this really big mirror, this beautiful light worker, this bright, bright energy of magic. And they just want you to be mindful about it. So let's read what the card says. It says, we look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Right? He drowned in his own reflection. That's ego too. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. Because when we are in light with the mirror energy, We're witnessing the deeper self, right? We're in pure awareness. We're not taking things too seriously. We're stepping away from like maybe a memory or a situation, and we're looking at it from a higher perspective, right? Instead of just reacting. And some people, they just react, just bam, bam, bam. I've done that. I've been that. It took me a while to learn how to step back and be the reflection. Like, how would I feel if someone was doing this to me? I had so many beautiful light workers that were put in my path that were like, hey, you know what? I was in a really good place before you came running in here with your energy, making everything all about you. They're like, you know, you can ask me, can I hold space for you right now? You can ask me, hey, are you in the middle of something? I got to tell you something crazy that just happened to me, something I really want to share, you know. And I learned so much from that experience. I honestly didn't even recognize, I feel like this wants to come over here. I didn't even recognize how deeply I wasn't understanding the mirror until so many people put the mirror back up to me. So when we're in dark, we're in narcissism, comparison, harsh edges, right? Like, ooh, sensitive, like, hey, what did you say about me? What did you want? You know, that's the sharp edges they're talking about, right? The harsh edges. It's interesting because I thought this was going to be just a pick a card, but this has been sitting on my refrigerator, and today Spirit asked me to bring it, and I didn't know who it was going to be for, but now I understand. So this is your new mantra, okay? Let's see if it'll stand up on its own. If not, I'll put it here. Oh, it wants to go next to the mirror. Okay. So take a screenshot of that. Put it on your phone. Write it down on Post-its all over your house. Whenever I compare myself to others, I simply say this prayer. The light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. So remember, we have the balance of everything, because right behind you is what? Black and white in the moon cycles. So in the darkness of that, we have to remember that the light I see in them is a reflection of my inner light. So it could be your darkness, your shadow, or it could be your white light, right? So your light is either dark or it's light, right? You're in shadow or you're in light, like happiness, like joy, like just staying in that light. Does that make sense? So remember that if somebody's coming at you with a lot of hate, you know, it's just something that they're feeling about themselves, you know, and it is like that old adage, I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Now, we don't want, right? Like, we're not looking to hurt anybody. We don't want anyone to suffer or feel bad. That's not the topic here. But what Spirit is trying to say is that when we compare ourselves to other people, whether it's on the outer self, the inner self, you know, I've had people along my journey, they're like, I'm so jealous, or I wish I was there. And I'm like, well, you have to go through the shit first, man. You can't just like, you know, you can't just buy the crystals and buy the healing tools and wear the, you know, you can't just buy the yoga outfit and walk around and say you do yoga, right? You really got to go and do yoga. It's the same thing. So you have a serious job here. You're a powerful light worker. So remember to rise above it. That doesn't mean that your feelings don't get hurt, but just remember that, you know, even if it is somebody you used to be, it's not who you are right now, because you are here for a reason. You are here to hear these messages. And when I looked down, it was 4828. So you may want to research angel number 4828 or add them all together down to the, you know, lowest divisible number, whatever works for you in numerology. But work with this energy because it's coming up for a reason. So it says, for further reflections, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's mirror piece in Grapefruit. Okay, so I'm going to get you a little screenshot here. Let me see if we can go back. I don't know how far back this is. Okay, so take a screenshot. Here, let me get it even better. Okay, so take a screenshot of that, okay? If you're called to. But you see how the eye is there? There's the eye. It's like the third eye, and then it almost looks like money to the right hand. Like this looks like money. Isn't that interesting? Right? So you can have your eye on the prize, but, you know, do what makes you happy. Stop trying to be somebody else. Somebody else is taken. Here's some more stuff to go deeper. Take another screenshot. This is what we just talked about. And it says to go deeper, Yayoi Kusama's Infinity Mirror Rooms. It's also on page 201, which is the number 3. And then the last bit of advice from Spirit is, speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. And that honestly couldn't be more true, my friends. I am telling you, I have done this exercise back in the day when I wasn't fully awake yet, and I was so conflicted and so confused, and I just wanted to die. And every day I was like daring, Spirit to kill me. I just remember one night I got really rip-roaring drunk, and I was just like, I hate you. And I was just like the most horrible things to myself in the mirror because I looked like my father. And I was like, I hate you. I hate that I look like you. And it was just like all this ugly, 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 ugly stuff. And now it's interesting because it's like, so I couldn't be more far from it. Sometimes I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, I love you. I'm like, I love you so much. I'm like, thank you so much for hanging in there. Thank you for getting me through those dark days where I wanted to kill myself, and all that really was is that it's not about us physically dying. It's about wanting to kill the part of us that no longer serves us. You don't have to physically hurt yourself to do that. It's about making the changes from the inside out. It's about changing the tracks in our brain that have been programmed, for us to say things to ourselves or believe certain things about ourselves. But in this full moon in Cancer, use this energy. Cancer is a water sign. Water, the moon is water. Use all of this water to help you release and let go. And it's also, the full moon in Cancer, it's like the next time that we will be, oh no, it's Pisces. I was going to say the next time we're going to be in a water sign would be Cancer. I take that back. It would be Pisces. But there's definitely something there for you guys, like with the Cancer energy. Maybe you're a Cancer, you're dealing with a Cancer. And the Cancer doesn't have to be the crab necessarily of the water, right? It could just be like somebody's literally like a Cancer to you. And if you are just feeling, look at now it says Witches Tarot. They had me move the archetypes because they want you to see who you are, right? You beautiful, powerful, powerful healers. Don't deny it any longer. This is who you are, and this is what, Spirit wants you to see in yourself. Like I said, if you didn't watch the beginning part, the reading for the collective for the next month, I highly recommend you go check that out because there's some really awesome, fun highlighted dates there for all of us. So until next time, card number 2, I hope this helped you in any way. All of my information is below in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho. Welcome, card number 3. So if you were pulled to any other piles, I'm just going to say I highly recommend you go and check them out. If you were pulled to more than one, if not, if this is just your message today, I just want to tell you guys right now, right off the bat, really powerful healers. Honestly, light workers, witches. Literally whatever magical term feels right to you. Priestess, priest, monk. Honestly, light worker. I'm just feeling a lot of healing energy from you guys, whether it's through Reiki or surgeons or, you know what I mean? Like it could be through food. I just feel like whatever you guys do, whatever you touch is just like witchy, witchy, witchy woo, but in all the best ways. Like you guys just bring all the magic everywhere you go. And I don't know what your card is, so I'm excited to see what it is. So let's watch together. Ooh, Eros. So I'm going to bring it a little closer and see if there's any messages that are coming through. I like this card because there's so much imagery. I'm going to give you a second to look at it up close. Also, look at the reflection of the flame on there. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So I see a diamond, and it looks like to be a very feminine mouth. But when you look at it this way, it almost looks like a leaf with a diamond in it. Also, diamonds are April birthstones, so this could be Taurus, Gemini energy. We also have the Roman numerals, LXXI is 71. Now it almost looks like it looks like hands. It looks like hands around the diamond, like cupped hands. It also kind of gave me this visual, like I felt like the diamond was like under the ground, like under the earth, like if this is earth and it's like trying to break its way out, almost like spirit's trying to like show you that money is on its way. Not that I always look at diamonds as money, but I feel like in this sense they are. Also, you know, diamonds are, you know, they're one of the hardest substances in the world. And they come out of coal. So it's like maybe they're trying to tell you like you're a diamond in the rough, because I kind of got that diamond in the rough energy. And I feel like you guys want to come over here. Okay. I'm going to go to your card. Hold on. So you should know right off the bat that this card actually, in this book, they have different sections, okay? They have different like sections that have names, and your particular card came from the initiations. The other cards, they didn't ask me to talk about that, but for you guys, I think this is really powerful. Even though that's not your card, I feel like they wanted you to see the spider web and that imagery, because spiders are the web weavers. And also, I don't know, I feel like these hands are like kind of cupped again, kind of remind me of that, and these kind of remind me of lips, a little bit like the diamond card. Okay, so I'm going to dive in because I feel like there are a lot of messages that want to come through for you guys. Okay, so it says love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being. Nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is circuitous, you are always being led toward its center. I've never seen this word. Circuit to us. Circus. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I am. Okay, so remember the way is that word, and you are always being led toward its center. So when we are in light with this Eros energy, we are passionate, right? We have playfulness, sexual health. We're in good sexual health. That's what I'm feeling. And when we're in dark, when we're in shadow, we're feeling madness, projection, obsession. Where are you at right now in your path? Maybe a little bit of both. So to go deeper, it says Love Sonnet number 11, XI, Roman numeral 11. And that's by Pablo Neruda. Or Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. It's also on page 209. Do you see that? Which is the number 11 as well. That's interesting, because I'm pretty sure they didn't plan that. Or maybe they did. I don't know. So to go a little bit deeper, it says, the Hindu goddess Lalita, she who plays, in quotes, can help activate Eros energy. She is also known as Kameshvari, the Empress of Desire. So if you want to take a screenshot of that as well, if you want to work with this energy. I love me some Hindu goddess. Yes, I like the Hindu goddess energy. I like that. The Empress of Desire, she who plays. Now, just because it says she, right, they're just saying to channel that feminine goddess energy. That's all. It doesn't matter whatever you align with and your, and your soul and your person. So it says, Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. Oh, so I'm hearing some of you are feeling a little, I'll take this as well. I will absolutely beautifully accept with gratitude this blessing of this card today, this archetype, because I've been feeling this myself in my relationship. Because I think sometimes when we're hurt a lot by people, and this could be love with, a significant other, even though this card is giving us that Eros vibe. And also research Eros. If you don't know Eros, Eros, research the Greek goddess. Is it God? I thought Eros was a god. Anyway, I already lost the page number. It doesn't matter. But research it, because there's a really cool image of Eros and Cupid. And years ago when I was in Paris and I went to the Louvre, I saw it in person. And let me tell you, it was pretty magnificent. It was like one of those things where you're like, okay, that's pretty amazing. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm just getting a really strong vibe for you guys to research. Just research Eros on your own. I don't want to give you too much information, because sometimes even though I'm channeling it, it's like it's for some people, but it's not always for everybody. So maybe you're just meant to, research Eros and their meaning. Maybe it's just for the imagery of that statue that I was just talking about, that of Eros and Cupid in the Louvre. Maybe you're close to Paris or you're going to Paris. I highly recommend you go see it in person. It was, number one, bigger than I thought, and number two, I just remember like looking at it and thinking, wow, I've seen that like imagery like so many times, and then to see it in person. If you're somebody who's never been to a museum, an art museum, or if you haven't been to one in a long time, go. I'm getting that from spirit. Like, it's time for you to kind of like waken up your senses a little bit too, your artistic side. I'm hearing for some of you, it's almost like you forgot that. And so the passion may not even be for someone else. Maybe this passion is just for finding this passion back for yourself, for what makes you happy. Maybe you need to masturbate more. Some people have shame in masturbation. There's absolutely no fucking shame in masturbation at all. There's nothing wrong with pleasuring yourself or feeling good about yourself, or, that zing you get, when you have an orgasm and you're like, woohoo. And if you haven't had one, that is your homework for sure, with yourself or with a partner, or both, whatever rocks your boat. And I'm hearing, and not having limitations either on your relationships with people, in terms of, sometimes people are just there to be a lover for a little while. Don't make it into something that it's not meant to be. Some people are just there as placeholders, you for them for you. Nobody's using anybody. If it's in a good exchange of energy, then that's good. I mean, there were many years where I didn't have a partner, but I wanted to have sex, so I absolutely positively had sex. So don't be afraid to be who you are and be yourself, right? Like, this is the archetype that spirit wants you to work with. And one way or another, even if none of that medicine resonated with you, just work with the Eros archetype. So those are your messages, my beautiful souls. Blessed full moon and Cancer. And I'll see you next time. All of my information is in the description box below. I love you so much. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, card number 4. I'm very excited to read for you. Every single card so far has had their own little kind of like altar setup. So I'm very excited, because yours is so different from the other ones, but it feels very old and very grounded and very earthly. So I don't know if it just means that you guys are really grounded, or you're really connected to the woods, or maybe you are an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Maybe you're dealing with that. I'm not sure what's going to come. And I have no idea what your card is. So I'm just going to see if anything comes through right now, if anything channels through. Just take a minute to look at everything. Ooh, interesting. I just noticed that through this little opening, there's like a little snake from the box. I think that's a snake. And then it says bye. So I think it's interesting, because it says the wild unknown archetypes, and then it says by, B-Y. So I think you should take from that whatever you want. Also, you can kind of see the reflection of the word, it looks like deck. I can't really tell from here. So that's really interesting too. So if any of this, I'm just getting this vibe for you to like really look around, look at the reflection. There's just a lot going on. That's an apophyllite up there. And then also that beautiful shiny gold crystal, that's a pyrite. So I'm not sure right now. To me, pyrites means a lot of different things, but a lot of times for me in the readings that I do, it's about money and generating money. At least right now, those are the words they're giving me, is like money, abundance. Like I'm literally hearing the words generating money. So let's get to your card because I'm really excited to see what it says. Oh, the crone. Okay, so you guys, this is so exciting. I was just saying to Spirit, I'm like, is this the crone? Because a little while ago, which is also the number 13, that's the Roman numerals on the top. So earlier when I was setting this up, I had this, I had 4 piles, and the crone was pile number 4. But then all the cards fell, and I just got this vibe that like maybe they wanted me to go in a different direction. So I reshuffled and I didn't look at them at all. I had no idea what any of them were. So before I saw the card, I was like looking around and I'm like, this feels like the crone. This feels like really old energy, old soul, wise old soul. And just because you pulled the crone, which, you know, it's the maiden mother crone in like the human series of like our understanding, right? So the crone is in the later part of life when we've learned the lessons, when we've, you know, done the work, we've gained the wisdom, at least one would hope, right? But yeah, so I was just really blown away because I already felt that, but then the fact that it still is really powerful. So I also want you to understand, and also they're saying the number 13 is the number 4. That's so funny. Okay. There's a lot coming through for you guys right now, so give me a minute, okay? The one thing they want me to point out right away is that just because you pulled the crone doesn't necessarily mean you are in your crone years. Some of you may be, like, right? Like I just turned 50, so I am officially like in my crone. I've gone through menopause. I've done all that. I'm no longer a young lady, a maiden. I'm no longer a mother because I cannot have children anymore, right? So I am in the crone phase. But you can be a maiden in your 20s, but still feel like the crone. If you've been here many times, whether you've been human, whether you've been, you know, whether you've just been a light worker, you've just been traveling, you know, around, it's like, it doesn't matter. And I love that even though it's like a vision of the raven, I also feel crow energy from here. I always feel like the crow, the crone, right? They're just a few letters away from each other. But look at how they're holding. Oh my gosh, Spirit, you are the best. Look at that. Look at how they're holding what looks like a pentacle, right? So it's also, I forget the name of it. It'll probably say it in the book. But I saw the pentacle in the tarot, and I think it's interesting that we have that there, and then Spirit pulled the pyrite. So for some of you, I'm getting that money, there's like something to do with money. But I'm feeling like, look at how calm the bird is. If you look at the bird, they're just like, hey, what's up? Like the hand is open. It's not like it's holding the bird really tight, like the bird can't get away, right? They're also showing how the bird and the hand are one, right? So, and they don't look like someone's going to steal their money. They look super relaxed. And I'm getting this from Spirit is that they're saying it's time for you to relax. Because also the crone energy could depict for some of you that you're at the end of something, right? Because if the crone energy is being at the end of like the cycle of the maiden mother crone, then it would make sense that we would also feel the energy. Hold on. Wow, you guys are channeling. Hold on. Yeah, it's like they want you to, it's like, I'm trying to translate what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is like that you have it. Like, it's so close. And if you're pulled to some of the other piles, I highly recommend you go look at them because the messages were very similar. But yeah, like, you're there. You may just be in the end energy of your cycle, which is the crone is depicting that for you. You may be at the end of a cycle. And we go in cycles every 7 years. So for some of us, it's like, like myself, I just turned 50, right? But 7 times 7 is 49. It's a really prolific, time, a really prolific number. But also, what is 7 and 7 is 14. 4 and 1 is 5. 5 is all about change and transformation. Last year was 2021, number 5, change and transformation. So I'm just getting, for some of you guys, it's like, you may be in the physical crone as well as at the end of something. But for some of you, it doesn't matter your age. It's not about the crone. It's about that you're at the end of whatever cycle that you were at. And now it's like the money is coming. So don't fret. Don't stress about it because they're saying, it's energy, right? So, and for some of you, this money's coming. Keep it hidden. Remember in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf goes to Bilbo and he goes, "Is it secret? Is it safe?" Meaning the ring, right? From the Lord of the Rings. But in The Hobbit, I actually just watched the whole Hobbit series again over Christmas. It was so fun to watch them because I'd seen the Lord of the Rings and all of them together. I used to own it, but I'd never watched all of the Hobbits together. I said, someday I'm going to do all of the Hobbits and the Lord of the Rings all at once. Within a few days, obviously. Unless I binge watch and just stay awake. But anyway, right? It's like, for some of us, it's like, you need to keep it secret, keep it safe. Like, like Spirit's like, keep your money over here where nobody, can see it. I honestly feel like I want to try and see if I can squish this in here because I feel like they're trying to show you. Like, it's like your treasure, right? Now when you look at it, you can see that it's pyrite. You can see that the pyrite's there, but you see how it's kind of like blending into, right? Because they can't really see it. But if you turned it over, it'd be like super shiny, really sparkly. Like this is the super sparkly side, right? Well, you don't want to be showing everybody all your goods. And they're saying this doesn't necessarily mean money. Maybe you're working on a book. Maybe you're working on music or a new business, a new plan, whatever it is. Maybe you have been a CNA for years and now you're like, I want to be a doula. I want to like bring babies into the world. I'm going to start my own company. They're saying be really mindful who you share that information with. Because even though I know it sucks, this is going to suck to hear, but it's just a basic fact of life, that sometimes people who we think are our biggest cheerleaders are actually the ones who are not. They're not, and they're not our staunch supporters. And Spirit's saying they don't want you to feel that energy from them. You know what I mean? It's like put a little fire, put a little energy between that. Put a protective energy, incantation, spell, prayer, whatever words feel good for you. It's the same, right? Abracadabra just means, and so it is. Right? It's like, it's all languaging. But for now, they want you to be more, see how they're like, it's almost like a chameleon, like, just blending in. Doth do protest too much, right? And when we do, it's like we're letting people in on our dreams, on our visions. This is yours. Keep it secret. Keep it safe, right? Don't go around just sharing your shit willy-nilly with everybody because, there are some people that like to steal. They don't like to do the work. They want somebody else to do the work. And you may think, especially be mindful of the ones, this is going to suck, but it's going to resonate with some of you right now. Be really mindful, Spirit said, of the ones that are over helping you or like, I'll help you or oh my gosh, you can bounce your ideas off of me. Of course. Like, dude, like we've known each other forever. It's like those are the people that you don't want to be weary of, but you do need to be weary of, right? If somebody's like overly like wants to know more about your information or wants to know more about you, they could just be trying to like, steal your secrets or like steal your mojo. I know that technically nobody can steal it unless you give it away, but that's what they're trying to say, right? Like if you're giving it away, be mindful. So now I'm going to pull this over because I had a feeling they were going to have us pull it over again because we pulled this in the other one. Witch's Tarot, baby. So the crone, the witch, the old woman, the sage. The crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She is the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of maiden, mother, crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of sex, death, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, light or dark, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth, using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. Her energy resides in all of us. Though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre, awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. That's right, baby. Because, right, crows are all about magic. So it says, when we are in light, we are clairvoyant, magical, psychic, intuitive, and wise. But when we are in darkness, we are vindictive and bitter. We isolate ourselves from others. We're ostracized. So, I feel like she wants to come over here. This says, the crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, and the moon. I also felt a lot of raven energy in there. I knew it was the crow, but I felt raven energy. The crone has a difficult time tolerating my throat chakra. Yeah, speak your truth, right? Like, if you see something, this is a perfect example for some of you who like want to start tarot or a channel, or you've been like wondering whether or not you should start doing light work. You know, I was afraid of the tarot forever because people would say, oh, that's not what that card means. I'm like, that's not what I see, or that's not what I feel. It's like, even if I see this as a crow, even though I know the crow is associated with the crone, I kept seeing the raven energy. So for some of you, research the raven energy and don't question your magic. Don't question it, right? And see how the crow is like hiding that pyrite behind them? Get yourself a chunk of pyrite. If not, you can still channel the pyrite energy, right? So don't second guess yourself. I don't care if everybody else is saying, dude, that's what it looks like. But if to you, if something is wrong, then you say, I don't care. I'm not going. Something's not right. You listen to that. Like, that is a huge part of you. And also, it's okay to like show a little bling now and then. They're having me show the bling in the background. You know, the bling is meaning your magic. It's okay to bring it out. And if people are afraid of you, then they're not your people, right? Like I said, if any other piles call to you, go to them. This one has a mixed bag, so I'm just kind of like, whatever spirit is asking me to say, I'm saying. So this says, the crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, and day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. Yes, because in the old fables, right, the crone's usually living alone. She's done. She doesn't, want the, I remember, years ago, my mom used to say that when my stepdad died, that she would be alone and that she would miss him, but she said she was looking forward to it. She's like, I feel like that's part of my cycle. Of course, my mother doesn't believe in this stuff, and I don't talk to her because she thinks I'm the devil because I'm a quote unquote witch, even though she is, but she won't, I can't make her see who she is, right? If she's stuck in her, Christian right-wing patriarchal bubble, I can't, right? But at the same time, it's like I could tell that she meant it. And I'm sure when my stepdad, actually tomorrow he'll be gone a year. He died a year ago tomorrow. Whenever you watch this, whatever. But in real time, the full moon in Cancer, it's the 17th. But I just remember like talking to her as she was going through all, that was the last time I talked to my mom too. So it'll be a year tomorrow that I talked to my mom. But I just realized like so many things of like, how, why would we deny ourselves that, right? Like if she knows that about herself, I always knew that he would die first. I always felt that. I think he knew it too. I think he always wanted to set her up for success because he loved her so much, right? But now it's like my mom, I don't know anything about her life now, but when I last talked to her a year ago, I was like, yeah, that's probably what she will end up doing. Just living a solitary life alone. She's been married twice. She's had 3 children. She's had jobs. She was a nanny. You know what I mean? Like, she's done all these things. She's had a full life. Now she's in her 70s and she can just chill and do what she wants when she wants. Maybe she'll fall in love again. Maybe she won't. I don't know. You know, but I could tell she was very serious about it. And actually, our landlord's the same way. And ironically, she went to school with my mom. Isn't that crazy? 2,000 miles away from where I grew up, talk about magic. Found out she went to high school with my mom in Chicago. That's crazy. So we never know, and there's magic everywhere. So don't doubt your magic. Don't doubt the magic that's around you. Don't deny yourself the solitary voyage that maybe you need to take. Maybe it's not forever, you know. Maybe it's just for a little while. Maybe you just need to, exactly at the beginning of the card, channel the crone energy, right? So I don't feel like anything else is coming in, Spirit. Do we have any more messages for this pile, this card? Nope, that's it. Like I said, if you were pulled to any other piles, feel free to go and watch them. Also, if you were pulled to the collective reading for the tribe, I highly recommend you go back and watch that as well at the beginning of this video. If not, I will see you next time. All of my information is below. And yeah, that's it. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye.